Welcome to Seattle Maritime Matters. Hi, I'm Ken Saunderson with the Seattle Propeller Club, and today we're with Tremain Holloway, who is the founding principal of the brand new Maritime High School.
Thank you, Ken. Thanks for having me.
Tremain, why don't we start off with having you share a little bit about the new Maritime High School and its partners behind the school?
Yes, absolutely. So again, my name is Tremain Holloway, founding principal for Maritime High School. Eternally grateful to have this position, to be here. Well, our partnerships that we have with the Port of Seattle, the Duwamish River Cleanup Coalition, as well as Northwest Maritime Center, and I can't forget the school district, Highline Public Schools, is the reason why Maritime High School exists. These four core partners came together and saw a need because of a dearth of the demographic that needed to be addressed within the maritime industry. And I kind of view it as a possibility for how do we connect our students who need power to those who have power, right? So that they can be powerful. And so when we look at the maritime industry, there's a lot of folks right now that are actually either retiring out. I think there's a thing called the silver tsunami happening, right? So a lot of folks are actually leaving the profession. And so how can we ensure to make sure that the youth that are here in our school district and districts around, because we're a regional school as well, know about the vast opportunities that exist within the maritime industry. So when these four core partners came together, that was the vision that they had to make sure that we continue to create that pipeline to ensure that the maritime industry continues to be successful as it is.
And this fall, you've welcomed your first class, right? A freshman class. And how large is the class?
Yeah, so our goal was to do a soft launch this year. So the maximum capacity we wanted to do was 45. And currently we still have a couple of seats left. So if there are any ninth graders that are still interested, we still are accepting applications. We only have a few seats left, like a handful, maybe 5. But our goal was to do a soft launch because we wanted to make sure that we did this thing right. And we also wanted to make sure that we kept student-centeredness at the core. So to start it small and to build that cohort up. And then beyond next year, we'll have a cohort of 100 per class. And so we'll build up to about 400 students at full maximum capacity.
And it's an opportunity not just for Highline School District kids, right? It's really open to everybody throughout the region.
Absolutely. Interestingly enough that you say that, we actually have students that are coming from Port Orchard, Port Townsend. There's a student that comes from Olympia currently right now. So we are a regional choice school within the Highline School District. Obviously, we serve the students in Highline Public Schools District, the Burrions, the Des Moines, White Center, Normandy Park, those particular areas that are there. But our goal is really to become that multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-generational school that reaches kids all across the state of Washington.
And the new Maritime High School, its approach in terms of curriculum and learning and experience and things like that is really unique and exciting, I think, if I were a student. Talk a little bit about that unique experience and how you're approaching the school of the Maritime High School.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, I'm a champion of project-based learning, or what I like to actually refer to it as is learning-based projects. And I learned that from a good friend by the name of Stephanie Burns. And so she talks about this idea of projects. When you're having projects, students are actually learning and thought partnering and collaborating together within these projects to actually master and assess the learning. So we're all about that at our school. We're an aspiring wall-to-wall project-based learning school. And I truly believe in hands-on, hearts-on, and minds-on type opportunities, or hands-on or hearts-on or minds-on education, right? So we have an audacious goal of getting our kids out into the field of maritime, getting them out on the water at least twice a week. And I can honestly say within these first 4 weeks of school, we have been able to do that and more. We actually had an opportunity last week to get kids out 3 times a week. So a little hectic, but hey, kids had a wonderful time, and there's some great learning experiences that are happening on the Duwamish River. So not as traditional as you would see at a comprehensive high school, but in our case, our goal is to really get kids out there in the field because we believe we learn by doing.
You know, and the response, I think, we have to be very positive in terms of the opportunity for students to really see not only an incredible high school opportunity and learning experience, but also an opportunity to learn about the maritime industry and great job possibilities, particularly for women and communities of color. Why don't you talk a bit about that opportunity?
Yes, absolutely. One of our goals is to, as our students matriculate through high school, their sophomore year, they'll be connected with a one-on-one mentor in the field of maritime. We currently right now have what we call project design work groups that are actually pretty diverse, that are within, that folks that are actually in the workforce right now who deal in law and policy, who deal in maritime construction, who work in vessel operations and design, just to name a few. And those components and those folks are actually going to be mentoring our kids. And obviously, as we grow, we want to gain more and more mentors that represent them or look like them that are in the industry. And those mentorships, the goal for those mentorships their sophomore year is to turn into internship opportunities their junior and senior year. So again, going back to my point about how can we change the demographic or the diversity in the workforce of our maritime industry here in the state of Washington, and also I would say articulate in the world, right? We want to make sure that kids have the opportunity not only just here in our state, but think more global mindedly, right? Being able to go out and see different bodies of water, not just the Pacific Northwest here, but across our country. But our goal really is to make sure that our students, more specifically, our students of color, are aware of these opportunities that do exist.
I know that the maritime industry and the seafood industry are absolutely thrilled to have you as a partner in developing that future workforce. How's the response been from students and parents?
Yeah, we've had a lot of positivity, right? I think if you would have told me back in January when I started to take on this role as a principal here at Maritime High School, that we were going to create a school where kids got out on the water at least twice a week, where they had project-based learning, or they also just had an opportunity to be connected to mentors and folks in the industry, I probably would have laughed at you because I didn't think it would be able to happen in this amount of time. But our parents have been really, really active in ensuring that kids want to have this chance. And they've just been really, really engaged, right? Our families are, and again, they're coming from all over. So not only within Highline, but also across the state here in multiple capacities. So we're just thrilled to just give our students this great chance and this great learning opportunity.
That is so cool. I love your enthusiasm and I love your passion. Talk a bit more about that passion and why you're so committed to seeing this school succeed.
Yeah, I think for me, I kind of live by the 3 E's. It's my core values. So the first E is equity. So every decision that I make as a leader comes from the core of equity. Every decision, every move that I make is through the lens of equity. The second E is excellence. So I have a commitment to ensuring that our students have high expectations as well as high standards set for them, because I expect the best from them because I want the best for them. And they also deserve the best, right? So that is that key piece when it comes to excellence. And then last but not least is entrepreneurship. So how do we tap into being disruptive innovators? How do we change the way that we live our world today, right? Thinking creatively, thinking with the mindset of how do we change the world that we're in? And so those 3 E's are really what make me passionate about this school, because that's really what I see when we started to create this, a school that was centered around not only being maritime focused, but also being equity driven, also being student centered, right? And able to give students such a chance to really just exhibit their talent and their skill, because I believe that they're all beautiful, brilliant, and bright. So that's really the exciting part about it, like being able to create something from scratch, really tap into the entrepreneurship muscle that I do have here and create something for the generations to come.
It's an incredible story and what an incredible opportunity. Thank you so much for joining us today, Tremain.
Thank you. Thank you, Ken. It's been great. Thank you.